All right, hit me.
You always know you're talking to someone from New York. We're going to learn that New York dialect. Got a good friend to help me out. Ken,
He doubled.
It's good to see you.
Nice.
Let's start with resonance. Resonance is the quality of sound you get when you speak. In standard English, it's in the middle of the mouth, right about here.
I think he means general American.
Soft part of your cheeks. The New York dialect is forward and down, right here. The bottom lip protruded. Think a lot of jaw action.
Jaw. A lot of jaw. Jaw.
All right? When you're doing the New York dialect, keep working on it, and it'll come to you eventually. Next is pitch.
Pitch.
Now, there's not a big pitch range in the New York dialect. However, that being said, there's a pitch drop-off often at the end of words.
Off. A drop off.
For instance, I'm going down to the store.
Oh, yeah, yes. Going down to the store.
I don't got a lot of time. You get what I'm saying? You drop off the pitch a little bit.
This is fascinating. He's a fantastic trainer, by the way. Must be like some kind of voice acting trainer because he's good.
And the New York accent tends to be kind of monotone, all right, when you're talking.
Monotone.
The R drop.
Yep.
Standard English, you got sister, brother. In New York, hey, that's my sister.
That's my sister. Well, I dropped that too. I do say sister. Sister. I guess then there will be a difference in intonation, but yeah.
You messing with my brother?
The
In
face.
standard English, you got the air sound. But in the New York dialect, it goes to where.
Where?
I ain't gonna wear that to the prom. The ear sound gets the ear sound.
So that's interesting because I would say if it's the W-H-E-R-E, I would say where. But if it's W-E-R-E, so the past tense, I would say were. So where versus were. But I did hear some people in England say where as well. So it sort of depends, I think, on social class, perhaps. Or maybe not.
The deer's ear becomes deer's ear.
Deer's ear.
The deer's ear.
The deer's ear.
The or sound goes to ua,
Really?
like more and bore. I want some more. What's for dinner? We gonna have some boar?
I love the look. I love it. Some boa?
The R sound goes to ah.
Oh, interesting. Ah.
The car, the bar becomes, I'm gonna drive my car down to the bar. Get a
The bar.
drink.
Get a drink. So, yeah, that would be different because I would say car. So I guess it's lower. Car. Like class. Glass. Car. So there is a commonality there when it comes to the non-rhotic aspect of it, whereby the R is not. It's dropped. But it's interesting, the register, how high the vowel is where, this is fascinating. I'm loving it. I'd love this.
I feel like a star.
I feel like a star. Star. I can't even do it. I don't even sound like him when I try to do it.
However, when the R sound is followed by a vowel or a Y, you keep the R in there. For example, I'm going to park my car in the garage.
Car in the garage. Okay, so people do that, or in the garage would be the other way to say it. People do that in England too. In fact, this is called the ghost R, I think, by linguists. And the reason why I reference to England is I'm not English, but that's where I picked up my English. So not that means that I have a pure English accent. You can tell I'm not from England, but I think you can also tell that that's where I picked it up, I would imagine. So, and I'm referencing to that because that's my experience. Now I live in the US, but I did live in the UK. And one thing I noticed is that people either pronounce the R when it's followed by a vowel, like in this case, for instance, a car under a bridge. A car under a bridge. Is there a car under a bridge? Or you could substitute it with a glottal stop. A car under. A car under. Is there a car under? Is there a car under the bridge? So some people do that, but I think most people would put an R in there. But of course, under on its own, the R is dropped.
The R is still there in the car. The car. I'm going to park my car in the garage. Sometimes an R gets thrown into a word. For example, I saw it.
Yeah, they do that in England too. I saw it. Or like law and order instead of law and order. Law and order. So people do that too, like another commonality.
Did you see it? Because I saw it.
Because I saw it. Saw it. I don't do it well. I'll have to practice it.
In an ethnic, lower class New York neighborhood, you get the ER turning to the OI sound. Like bird and thirsty become foisty.
I love how he goes, he's very serious about it. Thoisty. I'm thoisty. I love it. I freaking love it. Thoisty. What do you say? Woiking? Woik? Woik. I'm woiking here. I'm woiking here. Sausage.
The boy.
Wow.
In other
The
parts.
Boyd, I wouldn't recognize it. Like up to now, anything that he has said with the accent, I would absolutely understand it. But Boyd for bird, I wouldn't recognize. I never hear people say it though. Whenever we go to New York, I think it's because it's probably like a newer generation now tend to speak more general American, which to me is kind of a shame because I love this kind of, maybe if it's a grandpa.
You just keep the hard R in the word. Boyd just stays bird.
Okay,
And
depends.
Thirsty is just thirsty. Hey, I'm thirsty. Look at the bird.
Thirsty. So there's a little sh. Thirsty. Thirsty. So yeah, it depends, I guess.
D replaces the T. For example, latter or British equals ladder. British.
Lara. British. I can't help but seeing Tom Cruise, by the way. This guy looks a lot like him. Lara. So that's called flapping, this phenomenon. It has a specific term for it when the T is pronounced like a soft D. It's how usually linguists consider it, not just a D, it's a soft D. And so when you say beauty instead of beauty. Yeah, so they do it in an Australian accent too. In England, I don't think I've ever heard anyone having flapping. So I don't think British accents do, but when I say British accents, I mean I extend it on purpose. In England, I know in Wales, Scotland, do they do it? I don't think they do. No, I think flapping is common to America, Australia. I am not aware whether they do it with a Kiwi accent or not. That'd be very interesting. If you know, let me know in the comments.
If you're using a super stereotypical New York accent, sometimes it's cool to use the glottal stop.